It's about informing the people with the facts. To know what's really happening in Thailand. Inside government, business, society, with real players, talking to leaders and decision makers, seeking answer with perspective, issues that affect Thailand's future. This is Thailand. This is the Insider Thailand. Sawasdee krab, and welcome to a special highlight edition of The Insider. As we wind down our fifth series of the show, I'd like to revisit some of our guests to highlight the key issues that we have brought to you. From Thailand's economy undergoing major reform to Thailand's role in regional and global affairs. The Insider has brought to you many distinguished guests who have made our show very special. We saw how Thailand's leading startups were benefiting from many reforms and how the logistics sectors in Thailand was gearing up for major expansion. We saw how our tourism sectors maintains a global leadership position in spite of intense competition, and we saw how Thailand was expanding its humanitarian work for displaced persons as well as migrant workers. We also saw how several figures shared their views about stalwart nature of the Thai-US relation, Thailand's vision for ASEAN, and the robust foundation for Thailand's financial stability. So here are our highlights from the fifth season. These government in particular realized that startups and SMEs are very important to the economic growth. So therefore, they try very hard in its best capacity to facilitate startups and SMEs by introducing many policies in order to make the environment that conducive for startup and SME to grow. So what kind of policy that you think it is very effective? And because you have been in this business for quite some time, for 7 years, you have seen the difficult time, and you can compare to what you are seeing now.
Government is really focused on startup right now. The build Thailand 4.0 policy. Everyone knows about the startup. They built a very good awareness, like the Startup Thailand last year. That's Ministry of Science that created those events, and then that's one of the biggest startup event in Thailand. And after those events, after those conferences, everyone in Thailand just know what it is startup.
I believe you realize that you are not just playing the key role for your prosperity, but you also play a vital role on country's prosperity. So therefore, if there is anything that you believe are very useful to start up as a whole, not just you, anything that you would like to share?
Besides from commercial laws, I would like to address about education, which is, so we're doing this because of our future of my next generation, our next generation. Education is not a quick win project. It takes time. And Thailand needs a lot of shifting in mindset of education. Entrepreneurial mindset should be placed into the new generation.
TCDC is the organization that to support of the creative industry, and for the general, the people who are the young entrepreneur that you want to take the benefit from the creative and design, and how to apply the design to your business. Even not the business, it's for the social value as well, how to improve the quality of life. And then if you know the knowledge, you have the idea and how to make that it happen.
I've learned that TCDC has been existing for more than 10 years. And of course, now TCDC can play a very important role particularly with this government, because the government introduced the Thailand 4.0. So of course, within the Thailand 4.0, creativity or creative business and innovation is also be seen as the mechanism for for the growth as a growth engine for economy of the country. The government key policy that you as the representative of the world leading logistic company DHL in Thailand see as it is quite supportive to the business sectors.
Thailand is known as an agricultural country. We known as somewhat of productions, manufacturing, production base
Yes.
that come in Thailand. But we're in a developing country, and we've been developing country for certain years now, for many years now. But with the Thailand 4.0, with the Thailand digital economy, the push it's a national agenda from the government now that everybody, when I go meet with certain minister or director of the certain ministry, everybody talk about digital.
Digital.
Yes, it's about new way of doing things. And it's about prosperity to Thai life, right? To make sure that we lift our economy to be a value-based economy. And this is really DHL seeing it, and I seeing it personally, that this is value creating. And it's great to have a government, even though military government, to have a vision that really foster Thailand to really become internationally and be able to live our life, be able to prosperity, live our prosperity of the Thai. And that will help matching up with the new era in trade economy. Because when you talk about e-commerce, people need to be digital oriented, and government come up many developments, for example, the digital infrastructure that happen, and also the digital skills. The minister in terms of digital economy and society, right? So that come up. So the development has many progress that we see.
We have so many potential in Thailand, many things to offer for our foreign guests. If I like to ask you to prioritize, what would be the key factors or the key area that you have given priority in terms of promoting the Thai tourism?
This is a very good question. We have done a lot of marketing activities. So this year onward, we are aiming for the quality, meaning management, meaning safety, meaning the system. How to make sure that the ease of traveling to Thailand will become better. And this can be accomplished by the joint effort of ministries working together, of which we are doing it now. Safety, this is also something very, is the core. When talking to many countries or to all the ambassadors, this is the first thing they ask now about the road safety, maritime safety, and about the security of the country, or the crisis or the incident that happened either in Thailand or in any places around the world. We have learned from those lessons and make a joint effort between our group of people, for example, like tourist police, the volunteer, the people, like we are right now in the hotel associations, restaurants association, together with the security group of people, how to collaborate. Because the 32.58 million tourist arrival last year, how can we take good care of them? So only one party will not be able to support that. Everyone must join hand, and we call this the concept of เจ้าบ้านที่ดี Everyone duty. It is everyone joining hand in order to take care of every guest coming to our country. Treat them as a part of our family.
Public health is one of the agenda for reform of these governments. So my first question to you would be directly related to the universal health coverage. What is Thailand has been doing regarding UHC?
I would like to namely it into two parts. The first part is the financial scheme that support the Thai people to get access to the health system. There are three systems mainly. The first one is universal health coverage that previously they called 30 baht scheme. This covered 48 to 50 million of Thai population. The second scheme is social security system that cover around 10 million Thai population. And the third one is CSMBS or Civil Servant Medical Based System that cover the rest, that's around 5, 6, 7 million population. We can say that we have the health insurance for every Thai population in our country. So all 64, 65 million Thai population can get access to the healthcare system without financial barrier. The second thing is the health system itself. For the public health system, we can say that we have the system that can cover from the village up to the national level.
What is the regional refugee or displaced person situation so far?
Well, in the region, particularly in Thailand, I think it's the situation of the Karen refugees on the Thai-Myanmar border. We have about 100,000 of them living there. Some of them have been there for 30 years or even more. And what is good right now and encouraging is that there are very strong possibilities for them to be able to go back home voluntarily. But in the region as a whole, I think the biggest refugee situation is the Rohingya one, which, as you know, is not just limited to Thailand, but also in countries like Malaysia.
We have dealing with this situation for more than 3 decades. You know, it seems to me that we cannot tackle the problem.
It's not as complicated in the sense that these people are fleeing persecution or conflict in their countries of origin. What is complicated is sometimes when they leave their countries of origin that they do fall victim to traffickers, human traffickers or people smugglers who do exploit their situation to try and make money. And as you know, this was very much the case for the Rohingya population in the south. So, and this is certainly something that we are all concerned by, not just UNHCR, but the entire international community. But as you said, Thailand has played host to refugees since the 1970s. And over the years, it's hosted almost over 1 million refugees at this point. You know, Cambodians, Lao, Vietnamese, and now the Myanmarese.
Well, Thailand has played a vital role on looking after or providing humanitarian assistance to the less fortunate people for quite some time already. What is your comment on that?
I think Thailand has been incredible. It certainly has hosted refugees with tremendous compassion and generosity. Not just the 100,000 that they're hosting now, but as I said, over 1 million in the last few decades. And we also have, what is really encouraging is that the Thai public, despite the fact that they have hosted refugees for so long, that there's a tremendous amount of compassion for refugees out there. And the government has certainly been extremely constructive in its work with us in assisting refugees.
This is the kind of our government, that no matter what nationals they are, once they've been in Thai territory, they are human. So this government realized that, and that's why no matter how much the resources that we have to spend on this, we will continue to do so to make sure that they will be provided with the necessities, and they will have an opportunity for their children who've been born in those camps to grow up to be a good citizen, either be a Myanmar citizen or Thai national in the future. They will be provided with necessary education and medication.
So Thailand and of course ASEAN now has become the ASEAN community. So what has been the security policy of Thailand?
Prime Minister Prayut has mentioned to me directly about that for the security matters of the country, it is better to have all the countries being strong together. We are a member of the ASEAN communities. We want to see every countries in our communities to be strong, especially on security matters, because security matter is the basic fundamental to bring in different like prosperities, like sustainable development, and lift up the standard of living of all the people in these regions.
We're talking about bringing in the labor force migrant workers to be registered, and of course they will get a pink card. The concept sounds excellent. What about the implementation?
The government has a clear policy to regulate the status of every migrant worker in order to allow them to work and stay legally in Thailand by providing them with national security verification process. And the bring in of workers through MOU, this focus actually on 1.1 million pink card workers are legislated through OSS. Because now we are no longer issue more pink cards. After year 2020, Thai government will request every migrant worker who wish to work in Thailand to enter through MOU channel only. In addition, some implementation also been made a reduction in fee and charge requirement for migrant workers such as application fee for work permit, medical check-up cost, and visa fee have been lessened over 64% overall. The Ministry of Labor also reduced the process time for employing workers through MOU from 75 days to 17 days.
ASEAN is now 50 years of age.
Yes.
If ASEAN is human or a person, it is quite mature now. Can we assume that ASEAN is mature enough to deal with everything?
ASEAN was born in 1967 here in Bangkok, and as you said, it is now 50 years of age. And if ASEAN were a person, would it be mature? Well, it's difficult to say because people age differently. But if we look at ASEAN as an organization, we have been around for 50 years, so we are quite mature in terms of working with each other, having a sense of being part of the same region and community, and having the ability to solve many different problems.
Yes.
Now, of course, in '67, we were in a region that was at war. Today, we are in a region more or less at peace, and part of it is because of ASEAN. We have been able to create a regional order whereby different countries of different beliefs, of different systems, can work together and coexist. So we are mature now, but the question is, will we be able to solve all the problems?
Under the current circumstances,
Yes.
what is the ASEAN standing in the world geopolitical?
I would say that ASEAN has a lot of respect in the region and in the international community because it has been able to create a region of peace and stability. And that peace and stability over the last 50 years has helped make ASEAN become an organization and a region where there is strong economic growth. For the last 10 years, the average growth is about 5% and above within ASEAN. So that has created a better standard of living compared to several decades ago. So ASEAN is well respected as a regional organization and as a region that has brought about better happiness and prosperity to the peoples of Southeast Asia. We still have to see what more we can do. And let me just share with the viewers and the public that ASEAN is not resting on its laurels. We have been successful, but we can do more. We have many other challenges to face, whether it's transnational challenges or whether it's the issue of innovation. What can we do to make innovation work for the people of ASEAN? Making sure that no one is left behind. I think that is very important for the ASEAN community. Thailand's goal has always been that the 10 countries should join hands and move forward together in order to achieve a people-centered community with no one left behind. So there are still a lot of things we have to do, but I would say our standing is pretty much respected in the region and in the international community.
We all know that we have a very long history of relationship and cooperation,
Yes.
but with the new administration in the state, in the
Yes.
US, anything would be changed?
Well, I think so. I think there's often a change in emphasis, a change in tone there can be. Different issues begin to take on more importance, some issues not so much. But what I would like to emphasize
Yes.
is that despite the change that occurs naturally in America with our elections, the relationship itself is so deep and so broad that even with the change in presidents, even in our Congress, that relationship goes on. It has its own dynamic, it has its own strength, and of course it has these very deep roots going all the way back to 1818. And all of that, the people-to-people connections, the economic connections, the security ties, military to military, law enforcement, our health relationship, big health relationship between Thai doctors and researchers and American doctors and researchers on Zika and AIDS and malaria and encephalitis and so forth. All of these things have been happening for many, many, many years, happening now. They will continue to happen.
How strong is the Thai economy at the moment? And of course, we are looking for a sustainable future of the country.
At present, the Bank of Thailand expects the Thai economy to grow at about 3.5% this year, and up to about 3.6 to 3.7% next year. We have observed stronger momentum of recovery across different key sectors of the economy. If you look at the key drivers lately, one is exports. The export has picked up, I think, stronger than most people's expectation. The second key driver is the tourism industry. We should expect to get about 35 million tourists arriving into Thailand this year. Tourism will continue to be an important sector of the Thai economy. Another key driver is the fiscal expenditure program that comes into two forms. One is the big infrastructure projects that the current administration has been expediting over the past few years. So if you look at the large projects in the pipeline, like the dual track rail system,
Yes.
The mass transit system in Bangkok,
Yes.
the motorway networks, and they will continue to be catalysts of economic activities. The second type of fiscal stimulus programs are spending at the grassroots level. We have seen initiatives of the current administrations designing spending programs that would go to the village level or provincial level that will help ensure the distribution of fiscal impact across the board. Fiscal stimulus will continue to be a driver of the Thai economy.
At a time when Thailand is going through many substantial and long-needed reform, The Insider has brought to you many in-depth perspectives about the direction in which the country is heading. Thailand is reaching the culmination of the second phase of the roadmap, and the country is set to achieve many social, economic, and political development. We are very thankful to our special guests who have expressed their candid views and given us the privilege to learn about their experiences and their aspirations that are very important for Thailand's future. We are at The Insider are very grateful for our guests, for our viewers, and for the opportunity to bring to you more exclusive insight and interviews in our next season. Thank you very much and see you in our 6th season in November. สวัสดีครับ